Hey, what's up guys? So, I know I don't make a lot of Warframe videos, but this had to be done for my boy Chroma right here. Check him out, he's looking real snazzy with that sexy bolter prime on his back and all of his nice looking edges that he has. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to show any gameplay. If you guys want to see gameplay, just ask. But in this video I'm mainly going to talk about my build. It's just going to be like a few minutes, so no big deal. So, basics for Chroma. Chroma is what they call the dragon frame. I still think that's a huge mistake because people assume that he was going to have like some insane dragon abilities, like flying and all that. The thing about it is, like, at first I really wasn't that hyped for Chroma, but when I saw the abilities I was like, okay, this is great. So let's check out the appearance first, because the appearance does have to do with the abilities, guys, which is insane. They finally have cosmetics in the game affect how the Warframe works and what it does and all of that jazz, so we finally get that. So what I'm going to show you first is Chroma, based on the type of energy, or based on the color that you give the energy slot right here, that's what his abilities are going to do. That's the kind of the damage type that they're going to do. So if you have kind of like a, I think if you kind of have like a darker color like black to blues, it will, I mean, from black, if you have black, that'll give you ice, I think. It's a really, yeah, it's a really complicated color scheme choice. Honestly, I don't understand it, but you know, I'm guessing a lot of people are just gonna stick with blue and white if they want some other, you know, solid colors just to show off. But so if you have colors like white, obviously you're gonna get frost or ice damage. If you have colors like blue or maybe teal, you'll get electricity or shock damage. And then if you have colors like green or red, you'll get, like red will give you fire, and then green will give you toxin. One of the things right off the bat that a lot of people don't like is that you can't mix and match. Like, you can't have his primary be an element and his energy be an element. So you can't have his abilities doing like radiation damage or viral damage or, you know, corrosive damage, stuff like that. And for me, that's, you know, that's, I do find it a weak point, but, you know, it's also to make sure that he's not completely overpowered, so I do understand. Now let's go ahead and look at the kind of my, you know what? Let's go look at the abilities first. I think it's a good thing to check out the abilities before I talk about my build. So his first ability is called Spectral Scream. Now what it does is it emits kind of like a cone-shaped, sort of like breath of elemental damage depending on what color you choose, and that's pretty much it. The reason I don't really use Spectral Scream is because it has a low range, and I do have mods that lower the range, but we'll get to that later, why I chose the way I chose the different mods that I put on it. Second ability is Elemental Ward. Now this also goes off of what kind of color you choose. So if you choose red for fire for the abilities, you're going to get a health boost. If you choose any kind of color that gives you electric type damage, you're going to get a shield boost, plus you absorb incoming damage and you release it. So it kind of like, I use this one maybe once, and it kind of unleashes when you get shot, or even when you're just walking by an enemy, it like has like electrical surges coming off you and it shocks them. So that's that. And Toxic increases your stamina quite a bit, so it's not like a it's not like a puny amount where it's just like, okay, come on, you guys need to buff this. I think it's a pretty decent amount, and it's really good for melee only runs. And last but not least, and my favorite, is going to be Ice, and it reflects incoming damage, which is really useful. The third ability, which is my hands down favorite, would definitely have to be Vex Armor. Now what Vex Armor does is it coats Chroma in Vex Armor. I don't know what that is exactly, but when you take damage to your shields, as you can see in the description, when you take damage to your shields, you gain a percentage of armor. You gain a huge, pretty decent percent of armor that scales really well at high levels, so you can bring that baby to the void, and you'll be just fine. When you take damage to your health, it does weapon increase damage. And I know it says active for a limited amount of time, but you know, with mods we'll change that. Now the last ability is Effigy, and this is probably the most misleading. Like, if they would have shown this with when they said the dragon frame, this would have been the most probably this would have been the worst idea they could have done. But what Effigy does is Chroma sheds his coat, like the thing that he's wearing, and he basically takes a day off of work and, you know, takes it off, goes and relax. You get a speed boost. Chroma gets a speed boost when you use this ability, but he also gets a decrease in armor. So, you know, this overall ability, when you unleash it, it has your sort of husk flying in the air. It has wings, and it sort of does a certain number of things. One thing that it does is it emits like a cry, so it screams, and enemies within range, and it's a pretty decent range. Enemies within range are stunned for a decent amount of time. The second thing it does is if enemies get too close to it, or you by it, if you're standing by it, it will flap its wings and it does an instant knockback and knockdown. And the third thing that it does is it shoots the elemental damage type out of its mouth based off of your color, kind of like Spectral Scream, except it has a lot more range and it does a lot more damage. And being that it reduces armor, this is one of the things that a lot of people don't like. They don't like using Effigy, mainly because, you know, they die fast enough, but I'll tell you a way to counter that easily. So let's go look at the mods that I've chosen. And a lot of people go with one type of build for Chroma. They usually go with duration so they can get higher time of Vex armor and elemental ward. But this, for me, I went for a build that's good all around for all of Chroma's abilities, except for kind of that Spectral Scream, and we'll get to why. So 3, I always go with these 3 if I'm going for duration. I go with Constitution, you got that continuity, and you're narrow-minded, and these 3 will definitely help boost your time, the duration for Vex Armor and Elemental Ward. So that's really good, because you don't want that Vex Armor going off and you losing that armor increase and you dying instantly if you're playing something like T4 Survival and you're at high levels or something. So that's that, and these are really good mods. If you don't have narrow-minded, I'd probably say these 2 are fine. You're probably just going to lose a lot of time on your Vex Armor and your Elemental Ward, but try and get your hands on this. I don't think it's that hard to get, but if you don't have time, I understand. So for Vitality, you don't really need to have a full rank. I know I have a full rank. When I was starting out as a Warframe player, I'd look at builds and say, I don't even have that. But you can always either substitute if you have a low ranked Vigor. I know that doesn't take a lot to rank up. You can swap it out if you don't have any of these mods. Like if you don't have narrow-minded, as I said, that would go really good to give you kind of health boost. But Vitality, the reason I have it on there is mainly because of those annoying / bleeding procs. Like I hate that so much. So I have Vitality on there just to give me a little bit more survivability. Even though Vex Armor does give you a lot of really good armor, and my favorite damage type to use is Cold, so I have Vex Armor and Cold on at the same time, so that armor value plus I'm reflecting damage, so that kind of gives me insane survivability. But you know, this will really help. Prime Flow to give you more energy, and I would really suggest a flow mod, Prime Flow mod. If you don't have Prime Flow, you can go ahead and throw on a flow mod. But if you don't have Prime Flow, I'd probably say to probably throw on Fleeting Expertise. And I know a lot of people in their Chroma builds don't use it because it, as you can see, it kills that duration -60, but that just sacrifices maybe probably around 6 or 7 seconds. So you're gonna probably cap out at maybe 50 seconds for each ability. Right now with this build, it's pretty decent. It's at 40%. I mean 40%. I can't talk. It's at 40 seconds. For both Vex Armor and Elemental Ward, so that's pretty decent. So you don't have to constantly watch it, and plus when you're casting Vex Armor and Elemental Ward, it's not going to cost that much, seeing as, you know, the efficiency is through the roof with these 2 mods, and as obviously Streamline is there for efficiency as well. Rage, mainly because when you lose that shield from Vex Armor, you're still gonna have a shit ton of armor, but you're still gonna be taking direct damage to your health. And seeing as a lot of people don't want to have Fleeting Expertise on, this would be another good one to have, because, you know, if you're casting Vex Armor, Elemental Ward, Effigy, whatever you're using, it's going to suck up a lot of energy, especially Effigy. That drains energy like crazy unless you have these 2 mods on. But just in case you don't want to put this on, or you don't have a Prime Flow and you just have a Flow, I'd say definitely add this. It definitely gives you more energy to use, because while you have Vex Armor and Elemental Ward on, you're still going to be taking direct health damage, and this will definitely help you bring your energy back up really quickly. So I just want to thank you guys for watching. I did put Steel Charge on there mainly because, oh, I forgot. With all this talking, I've been just focusing on the build for this. Another thing to really consider, and a thing that I would really suggest that you have, is definitely have a melee weapon with Life Strike on. You don't need to have a full Life Strike, fully upgraded Life Strike. I got rid of my other one. I think I gave it away or something. I traded it away or something. And I only had my full Life Strike left, which is kind of bad, but I mean, that minus 140 efficiency is terrible, but is to have a Life Strike mod out, because while you're taking that incoming damage and gaining all of that energy from taking that damage to your health, you're still going to take damage to your health. I mean, you're not invincible. So you're going to want to have a melee weapon with Life Strike on, take that out, and use it occasionally when you see your health drop, and then bam, you're at full health, and you can keep building that weapon damage that Vex Armor gives you, and you can still reap the benefits of whatever kind of elemental ward you're choosing. To kind of help balance out that channeling efficiency, you can throw on a focus energy. This is just a raw build for the weapon I'm using, which is the dual Iker, but yeah, that's basically it. So again, things to stick to with Chroma would definitely be choosing your damage types well. Like if you're going up against probably Corpus, you could use Toxin. It does do pretty well against Corpus, and it gives you an insane stamina boost, but since this is an overall build, you can pretty much use any one you want. I know a lot of people go with sort of a tanky build, and they like to throw ice on there, mainly because, if you have Elemental Ward with ice, it absorbs incoming damage, shoots it back out, reduces that damage that you're taking. Plus you have Vex Armor, which gives you an insane amount of armor, and you also have, when you're taking direct health damage from rage, it gives you energy, and that energy can then be used to spend on using melee channeling for Life Strike to get your health back. And it's just a cycle. It just goes on and on and on. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see more video, if you guys want to see like sort of how I use Chroma, just shoot a like, and you can personally message me if you want, ask me what you want to see, and also you can leave a comment in the video. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.